Perry Pencil.
Hello everybody, this is Perry Pencil, and today I'm going to be sketching the one and only Colonel Guile from Street Fighter. So I selected this character as one of the characters to sketch because I used to play with him as a playable character. Of course, was one of my favorites. He often stopped people with the infamous sonic boom. So that's why I chose him. I've always liked him as one of the playable characters on the Street Fighter series. Guile is also known for his famous flash kick, and is one of his patented moves. So let's go ahead on and jump in and begin drawing Guile. So first, when I start off with this sketch, I like to divide the page in half horizontally and vertically. And as I'm sketching, again, it's totally different from when I do regular tutorials. When I do my sketching, it's a lot more loose and it's not as rigid. So I usually like to put the all of the what's called mechanical structure of the character in. So if you notice, I'm dropping in spheres, I'm dropping in let's say cylinder shapes for the arms, huge circle shapes for the upper body, for the waist the same thing. If you notice, it's off center from the center line because his abs is going into a different direction because he has his right leg coming forward as he's going to throw his notorious move, sonic boom. So as you see here, when I'm sketching, I'm not really worried about anything else. As I say in most of my sketching videos, when you're sketching, you just have to have fun with it. You have to just start putting the pencil to the paper and going with it. And what's happening is this is the most important time where creativity is flowing. Yeah, again, you might have a lot of lines that you put down on the page that doesn't really matter because you want to get a feel for what you're trying to do in the beginning, or I should say the sketching phase, when you're drawing any character. So in particular with Guile, I'm going in and I'm looking at the features that he's most notable for, which is his flat top, hot top haircut. And so what I did is pretty much drew an oval shape for it over top of the actual head or the character. And so those are the things that I'm concentrating on in the developmental process of this sketch. Also, it doesn't matter how blunt your pencil is, or you can always go back in later for the finer details. As you notice, I'm dabbing the pencil, the edge of it, just to get the detail that I need down, because everything else is not important right now. What I'm trying to do is establish where I want everything to be in regards to developing Guile. I'm putting in the cheekbones and putting his mouth in and things like that, his ear. So when you sketch in the early phase of sketching, you're pretty much letting everything run free. You're not overthinking it. And again, with this particular pose, it's one of those things where his arms are out to the side. So for practice sake, I'm pretty much dealing with the arms out to the side. And if you notice, I'm dealing with his neck muscle. His neck muscles pretty much are flexed, and then this particular sketch is pretty much dealing with the anatomy of the pose that he uses when he's doing the sonic boom. He's bringing his arms out behind him, and then he brings it forward together. So this is kind of like the midstream or midway of when he's actually doing the sonic boom. So notice here, off of that circle, I'm drawing in the rib cage, and then I'm putting in the shoulder muscles here. And again, I'm doing more contour drawing, and then working off of the contour going into the details of, like, say, his chest and then his abs, things like that. So I'm just getting this down really quick because one of the things that I want to emphasize on these sketch videos is that when you're drawing in the early phases, you want to practice letting it all go. Any mistakes that's made, you can always clean it up later. If you notice, I might not be particularly crazy about his mouth, but that's something that I can deal with on later once I clean everything up beyond this video. This video is pretty much for the sake of being able to draw these characters free, and it also gives you who's viewing this an idea of the process of what I do. Let's say this Guile poses for a comic book. So in the process of doing a comic book, you have to draw, or sketch, I should say. You have to sketch a lot. So in sketching, what happens is I might have to draw this pose, I might have to draw another pose, or several different poses. So when you're sketching, you don't really have time to get this one perfect. Because at this point it's not perfection with drawing. It's just getting the figure down, blocking it in, getting minor details and things going that you think is important. Like right now, normally when Guile is doing this, his fist is completely covered with the sonic boom power. But I want you to be able to see the fist, because when you're drawing, it's a bit different than animation and things like that, where it's overlapped and you don't see his fist at all. So right now, jumping on into a little bit of shading here, using the side of my pencil. And when you're shading, you pretty much I don't usually press and do 100% filled in areas. I do a halftone, which is the side of the pencil usually you can get a halftone on. So that pretty much leaves you in a safe zone if you have to erase or anything like that. And this video is also, as if you want to follow along, it's not restricted to you just looking at me draw, so to speak. But if you want to pause this video, you like the pose, or even if you like the pose here on the right, I have the Guile statue, and I particularly liked it. And sometimes it can help for reference points, and while I'm drawing and looking at what's going on, is it right, is it correct? He has the dog tags on, little things like that you might miss. So when you're sketching, using reference helps too, because you might continue the entire figure. But one of the things that I'm getting across here in this video as well is, as I'm going into his legs, I'm going to put some of his legs in, and then I'm going to shadow out the rest, because I'm not 100% committed with this entire drawing, because this is not a refined finished drawing. It's just sketching. So that's why I'm putting this in here, so that you can get an understanding of my process when I do what I do. So right now I'm putting in the power that's around his arms when he's doing his sonic boom, and it's a simple arc. If you notice, I'm using the side of my pencil, having fun with it, being very light. I'm not being precise. I don't particularly care about what it looks like, but I'm sketching it in, so if I decide to go over this later, I have it in place. I can make changes if I want to, and that's what makes sketching so much fun for me. If you notice right now, I'm doing a shadow at the bottom part of the leg. This is an incomplete phase of a drawing technique, if you will. So I'm putting his boot in here, and I'm not going to put the shoelaces or anything in the rear leg, which is his left leg. I'm gonna put a little bit of a suggestion on his right leg coming forward, shade that in. Then I'm shading in the left leg, covering the entire leg up in silhouette, the bottom portion of the leg anyway. With his army fatigue, I'm using the side of my pencil, of course. I'm not using like the regular point of the pencil. That takes a bit more time. It goes beyond sketching, it goes into refined drawing. That's another video for another time. Right now I'm laying in the army fatigue and putting those impressions in his pants, and that's pretty much it. So let me know what your thoughts are on this video. Let me know if you like this and you want to see, or definitely look out for more of the Street Fighter sketches. I'm gonna be doing a series of sketches, not just Street Fighter, but this is just the start of things. I'm adding the shadow underneath him, and that's going to complete this drawing. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by pressing this round button at the bottom. Also, click on one of the 2 top videos at the top. Please like this video, tell a friend, and share it on Facebook. Thank you. Perry Pencil.